everyone, welcome to week 10. Actually, in this week, we are going to start the second part of this book. In this part of the second part, we will cover inheritance, which is a very important concept in object-oriented programming. We will talk about how to improve the structure with inheritance. Also, we will learn about different techniques to use for inheritance. And we will actually talk about how to build the graphical user interface and handling some errors. So I am trying to actually finish this part by going through 3 or mostly 4 chapters. We only have a few weeks left till the end of the semester, and inheritance chapter 10 and 11 is very important, so I want to focus on these 2 chapters more. So we might not finish chapter 14, but we will try. So for sure we will cover chapter 10, 11, 12, and 13 for the remainder of this course. I just wanted to give you a heads up of what's going on with regards to covering more chapters for this book. One thing that I wanted to just remind you is if you have any problem regarding assignments, please make sure to contact me before. So look at it, try to kind of work on it. And if you have problems, contact me or contact the tutor. If I'm not available, because I have about 35 students and I have other courses, so I might not be available to help you right away, but you can actually set up an appointment with tutor and she can go over the concept from previous chapters. That's why she's there to help you guys, and she's very good and very helpful. So I'm sure that you kind of contact her and get help if you need to. In this week, we are going to actually do for this chapter, we are going to actually do 4 exercises. And the exercises that I give you for the assignment is actually just to learn how to basically deal with inheritance. And basically, it's not very difficult, but it is very important that you do these exercises. And so basically, you are going to do 4 exercises, exercise 10.1, 10.2, and also you're going to do 10.4 till 10.6. And so you will learn about inheritance and access right and all that. The rest of this chapter, I didn't ask you to do the exercises, but it is important for you to follow it. Because if you don't follow it, then you are not going to understand chapter 11. So it is very important that you do one step by step, go through this book and look at the exercises and try to solve them. For the rest of this chapter, I'm actually going to give you the answers for it because I want to make sure that at least you understand all of these. So after you submit your assignments, or actually before you submit your assignments, I'm going to give you the answers for the rest of the exercises for this chapter, 10.7 till the end of this chapter, because it is very important to understand this chapter. I'm again emphasizing this, and so that you can understand chapter 11 better. So these 2 chapters are the most important part of this book. The concept of inheritance is very important in object-oriented programming, and we use them a lot. So please make sure to understand these two chapters very well. Chapter 12 and 13 are important too, but they're just different concepts. So I'm not gonna it's just gonna be more advanced. Like we will talk about multiple inheritance and all that. So it is important as well, chapter 12, but at least you need to understand the basic part of inheritance in order to do any type of object-oriented programming. Okay, so let's begin with this chapter. Some of the concepts that we will cover in this chapter, chapter 10, are talking about what is inheritance. We will talk about the subtyping. We will talk about substitution and polymorphic variables. Polymorphism, we can call that. So both the concept of inheritance and polymorphisms are very important in order to design a better program. Actually, inheritance is a very powerful construct that can be used to create various solutions to different type of problems. So we will talk about the importance of this concept using an example from the projects that has been provided by this book. So if you go to the project folder that you have downloaded at the beginning of the semester, and you go under this chapter 10, you will see that there is a project that's called Network Example, and you can actually click on that one. So I'm going to show you in a minute how we can do that. But let's just focus on a little bit more about inheritance, what it is. Basically, as I said, inheritance is a mechanism that helps us with a solution to our problem of duplication. So you don't have to write all these code few times. So the inheritance let us define one class as an extension of another class. And we will actually go through this example from the project, and we will understand it more. So I'm just gonna show you. It depends where you have downloaded your projects, but you have downloaded all the place that you have downloaded all your projects. Under chapter 10, you can see actually the network we want. So you can see this is the network. This is the example that this in this chapter we need. So we can click on package, and it will open this up. So let's go through this network example for the book. Basically, this network project is a prototype of a small part of social network application. The parts that we are going to concentrate on is basically the news feed and with the post. That's what we are going to concentrate on. So in here we have this project stores text post and as well as photo post, which consists of a photo and a caption, and a message post which could be multi-line text. Some of the operation that can happen on the post is basically you can search the post, display it, remove it. All of these you can do with this small application. So in order to implement the application, we first decide about what classes we can use to model this problem. So it is kind of easy to identify the classes for this type of project. Maybe one of the classes that we can think about is message post. It's basically to represent the message posts. And another class that we can think about immediately is about photo posts, which can represent the photo posts. Objects of these classes are encapsulated all the data we want to store about these objects. So for example, for the message post, you want to keep username, message, the time that they enter, the likes, the comments, and all that. For the photo post, you want to capture username, file name, caption, timestamps, likes, and comments. Some of these fields or data needs to have probably the accessor or mutator methods. So as you can see, this is like a class diagram. So this is the name of the class. These are the fields, and these are the methods that we have here. Like, unlike, add comment, get text, get timestamp, display. These are all the methods. So remember, in the methods, we have to do an action. These are just fields, but these are the methods that we have in here. So also for here, for these, the top half shows the field, the bottom half shows the methods. So for example, we have a method called display that basically shows the detail of a message post or basically the photo post. You can display that. So that method will display the message post or a photo post. So it is doing something. So method is basically doing an action. So once we have defined the message post and photo post, we can create as many post objects as we might need. So one object per message post or photo post that we want to store, basically. So in this example, we have the newsfeed object, which it could hold two collection objects. One, when we talk about collection, we are talking about the array list. So this is the array list collection of message posts, which could be like these are the collection. It could be, and remember the array, we go 0, 1, 2, 3, we number it like that. And also photo is a collection as well, which we put it in the array. So we have a photo post, photo post, photo post, photo post here. So basically in BlueJ, if you see this, they don't show the array and all that. They just kind of focus on the class diagram, which focuses more on the user-defined classes. And also BlueJ doesn't show you the fields like we did in here. We have the fields and the method. So in BlueJ, it just basically shows you message posts and photo posts, and also the newsfeed. So it's not showing you the details of it, which is basically every class should have a field and a method in object-oriented programming. So every class would have a class name, will have the top shelf, which shows you the field and the methods here. But the BlueJ, if you look at the class diagram under the BlueJ project, you will see it that it shows like this. And basically it is actually focusing on the user-defined classes. So this is what we see on for this project: newsfeed class, message post, and photo post. Basically, in practice, we might need to have more classes, basically for saving the data into the database and also providing a user interface, which could be the web server. But for our purpose, we are only going to focus on the three main classes right now. So let's look at the source code for this program. So for our design, we have these three classes that we have mentioned here. So as we said, one of them is the message post class, which we will show in here. Then we will also going to have the another class, the photo post and the newsfeed. So if you are looking at the source code, most of the source code would be implemented the same way. So we have the message post class in here in the source code. So if we look at this, we will see that the first part of it, that we are basically putting the class, the message post, the name of it, and all those fields that we have basically identified. So in here, the string username, which is the username of the post author. The string message is basically that message that could be multi-line that we have focused on. The timestamp, what time they did it, and also the number of likes that message will get. And remember, we showed that for the message, it could be a collection of the message posts. So we are showing the collection in the array list. So the second part, we are actually going to create the the constructor for object of the class message post. And then the last part, we are going to actually record one more like indication from the users, which you don't see it in here, but if you look at the page 363, you will see that as well. So the complete program is basically on page 363 till 365. So again, we have the same thing for photo post. So for the photo post, you can see it as well in here, how we are defining it. We have basically the string username, which is the user name of the post author. Then you have the file name, the name of the image file that you might have. You need to have the image caption, so you need the line for that caption. Of course, the timestamp and the likes. And again, we showed that also in terms of a collection, which is the array list here. The second part, we are going to create the constructor for object of the class photo. So as you can see here, we are creating a constructor by using this. And then, of course, we have some more functions. So you can basically record the like indication from the users. You can, I think there are unlike posts, that's another one that you can basically show. This one also, we have the display. So the display will actually show you the message that is printing out. So that is another one. And we have other ones, other methods that we have there that we have identified. So we have identified maybe one of the other ones is the return the file name of the image in the post. So public string get image file is another method that we have identified. Get caption is another method that we have identified. Get timestamp is another method that we have identified, and so on. That's why these dots, you can see those are the other methods. So for the full source code, you can look at this on page 366 to 367. And then of course we have our newsfeed. So basically, the newsfeed class stores the new post for the newsfeed in a social network application. Display of the post is basically currently simulated by printing the details to the terminal and then basically show them in the web browser after. So in this version, we don't save the data to the disk, and it's not provide any search or ordering function. So we are not doing that. It's just a simple newsfeed format. So for this, again, we define our class, and then we say, as we looked at our design from the class diagram, we see that there is a message post is an array, is a collection, and photos are also a collections, as we have collection of photos that we have here. So we construct an empty newsfeed. Again, to look at the more complete version, you can look at it as page 369, which you will look at the creating a constructor as an empty newsfeed. And then here you have the method show. There are other methods that they have in here as well. So basically, this method is actually showing all the text posts that you have. So, and then as you can see, there are some comments here. You can see that. And basically, this one, the second part, is displaying all the photos. So this part is displaying all the message. This part is displaying all the photos. So this is the main method, the newsfeed, as you can see, that has the message post and the photo post. So the full version of this is on page 369. So it's better if we just go to our project and look at the source code from there. I'm going to explain that to you. So as you can see, we have a newsfeed which has the message post and the photo post. These are all the classes. So we first compile it. Click compile. And compiling is done. And then if you want to look at the source code, we are going to actually double click on it. So you can see the source code by just double clicking on it. And you can see the source code for this class as you have done previously. So in this one, as you can see, we have the user of the post author, the string message, which could be multi-line message, the timestamp, of course, another field is likes, and then we have the array list, which basically we want to show group of different messages. So that's why we are also importing the Java library for the array list. So basically the array list falls under the Java library. So we import this from the Java library so that we can use it here. So most of these we have done it already. We have looked at it in the slides. So we created a constructor. This one probably you didn't see it in the slides. Basically this is showing you a record one more like indication from a user. It goes like plus plus. It increments by like. If you want to increase the number of likes, it will show like that. Another thing that you probably didn't see it on the slide is the unlike. So basically it records that the user has withdrawn his or her like vote. So why do we have this if statement here? Is because if we don't have a like, we are not going to have unlike. So if the likes is greater than 0, then we do this. Otherwise, we don't do it. So if there's no like, there's not going to be an unlike. So if the likes are greater than 0, like for example, even if one person has liked it and you want to unlike it, you can use it like that. So you do like minus minus. So we look at the other methods here. I'm not going to go over it again, but for example, if they want to add a comment to this post, you have the add comment method, return the text of this post, get text, return the post text, and if you want to return the time, get timestamp method. And if you want to display the details of the post, you will use the display functions, or I call it function, but in object-oriented is method. So you use the display method, and you have print out the username, who the author, the message, and then the time that they have it. If the like is greater than 0, as we said, we are going to print, just say maybe, how many likes, 5 people like this post or something like that. Else you just don't print, like there's nothing, no like. If comments is empty, so again, if our comment section is empty, you print no comments, and otherwise the system will print the comments. So you will using the comment.size, and you will print the comments and then click here to view the comments. And basically in here we are creating a string describing a time point in the past in terms of the current time, such as 30 seconds ago or 7 minutes ago. For this we are only using seconds and minutes actually. So as you can see here, the current time passed in milliseconds, and you will have it in here in terms of the minutes, like 5 minutes ago or 6 minutes ago, or in terms of the seconds, or 50 seconds ago. So the other class is very similar. The photo post is very similar to message post. We're not going to go through it. I've just already explained to you from the PowerPoint. The other class that we will look is going to be the news feed. So I'm just going to double click on the news feed, and we will look at this a little bit more as well. So as we said, the newsfeed class stores the news for the newsfeed in a social network application. This could be like a Facebook or another social network. Display of the post is currently simulated by printing the detail to the terminal. And in here, as we said, we basically have the newsfeed class, which has messages and photos in terms of an array list. And remember, we are importing this from the Java library, the array list. So in here, the newsfeed method will, we are creating the constructor, the new array list, and the new array list for the photos and for the messages. The next one we are going to do is basically we are going to use the add message post to add a text post. So this is a method that we are adding a message post to it. Next one is adding a photo. So add photo post is basically adding a photo post to be added. And then the last one is basically shows the news feed. So in here, we basically have a loop that display all the text posts. Remember, we could have many posts. And then we have the display all photo, which we are using a for loop as well, which is showing all the photos in here to display. Okay, let's go and basically kind of see how we can create it. So we're going to our BlueJ network, and I'm gonna click on new message post string. I'm gonna have the new so in here we have the author, so I'm gonna put Rajabion as the author, and then the string text, which will be this is new, and say okay. And also for the photo, I'm gonna create again the string. The author is my name. The file name, remember, we cannot browse or something, so I'm gonna actually attach it to a file name. I'm gonna look for I want to show a photo of maybe a car or something, so I'm gonna actually have that save it on my desktop. So my file name, the car that I'm saving it, is called car.jpg. So that would be my file name. So I'm going back again to this. So I'm gonna put the string will be car.jpg. And then the string capture, this is my new car. For example, I want to show that car, sorry. And say okay. Okay, this is done as well. So we created one for message post, and then we created this here. So let's do some action. Let's execute one of these. So let's I'm gonna go and actually I want to display this. So I click on void display. So you can see that Rajabion, this is the author, car.jpg is the file name, this is my new car is what I put in there, and remember we would have the timestamp, and there was no comment that I've created. So I do the same thing for the message post. I just said void display, and this is also, you can see, for the message that I did. This is new. This is my message post, which I created 2 minutes ago. This is again my name. This is the message that I put and 2 minutes ago, and no comments. So as we saw, we created our message and we created our photo. Now we want to put this message to show up on our wall, for example, in the social network. So we are going to create a new news feed, and we put it here. And then we want to actually create that message. So we click on that, the message post, add message post. So we click on this and say okay. So let's show it. So we're going to create on void show, the show method, to show that on our wall. Oh, I think something happened here. Okay, I'm going to do it again. News feed. And then I'm going to actually click on the method add message. So I'm going to add that message that I created. Say close, okay. And then I'm going to actually Now click on it and see show, because I want to show that message on my wall. And you can see this is fun. 1 minute ago, this is what I have created, the message. And I can do the same thing now. I want to display the photo on my wall, for example. I can actually click on the method add photo post and then get my object. And then I can actually say void show. And you can see it is showing my new car. Rajabion car, this is my new car. So you can see that post on my wall or on the newsfeed or what. It depends on the social network that you're using. So let's play with our objects. So we can actually, for example, if I want 3 people to like my message, I can click on void like, and then void like, and then void like, and then in my newsfeed I can say void show. So you see that that message, my message, 3 people liked it. So I can do the same thing for my post. I can actually go play around with it and say void like. I want 4 people to like it. Void like, and void like. And if I go to newsfeed and then go void show, as you can see, my the photo post, 4 people liked it. So you can play around with this. You can also right click here and say void unlike. So I want 2 people to unlike my post. So I go here and I say void show, and now you can see 1 people like this rather than 3 people. So it went minus minus, like minus minus. So if I want for my photo do the same thing, I want only 1 person to like it. So 3 times I'm gonna go void unlike, and then I go here and void show. You see that only 1 people liked it because 3 times I unliked it. Before I had 4, now I have 1 people liking my car. So this is how this is working like that. So you can play around with these ones. So we did that. We looked at the display, we got the text and all that. So we can actually play around with these objects like that to see how the program is working. So there are some problems. I mean, this program is actually doing the job as we saw, and it's working perfectly well. But there are some problems actually that can occur with this type of writing the code. Some code duplication is happening everywhere. As you saw, as I showed you, the message posts and photos posts were very similar to each other. Large part of it is identical. So it is making the maintenance difficult and more work for programmer to write all these codes, and also to use the debugger. It's very dangerous to use this because you'll have to go through the same sort of a bug every time you run this, and it would be duplication. So code duplication is also occurring in newsfeed class as well. So there are better ways to actually handle these type of programs, and this is where the concept of inheritance comes into play. So in the next video, I'm gonna explain to you the concept of inheritance in terms of how we are going to fix this code and how we are going to write these codes for the same problem.